All right, here we are, everybody. I am Steve, the Lapsed Comic Fan, and today I am here with Jared from Comics League.
What's up?
Look at him. He's everything. He's way better than I am. So,
I'm
so how are you doing, man? How's everything going?
doing very well. How about yourself?
Good, good. A lot of stuff to read. I can tell you that.
Join the club, bro. Oh my god.
I spent today just sitting here because I was off because of Columbus Day or
Mhm.
whatever day it is that
Yeah.
I get off today. And I was like, God damn, dude, I got a lot of stuff to read. So that's pretty much what I did from the time I woke up till about 20 minutes ago.
Oh wow.
Just reading comic books. So
That sounds
yeah,
like a blast.
it was a good day, especially because the wife and kid were gone. So like,
Oh, there you go.
it's fantastic.
That explains it.
So today we're going to talk about the Absolute Universe from DC Comics. It is basically their year one. I know that issues 13 have come out for Batman, and they're dropping for Wonder Woman and Superman. And we're going to see some other characters, but we're just going to talk about the overall, how we feel about it overall, because I'm sure, as Jared probably has been reading for quite some time, I have been reading since 1985. And yeah, so this to me, I love this. First off, I'm just going to say I love this. I think it's fantastic. A lot of people will come around and, you know, they dogpile on things, which they probably aren't reading. Let's just be honest. They probably aren't.
Most likely.
Most likely, because there's so many things where it's like, well, why can't they do this in the regular universe? Or why can't this be this? And I'm just like, look, man, you should be happy that there are good books out there and that you can read them, regardless of what universe it is. Who cares?
Yeah.
Look at Ultimate Spider-Man.
There's good books. It doesn't matter.
There you go. Ultimate Spider-Man. I still buy Amazing Spider-Man, and guess what? Issue 13 was the only decent issue out of the first 13 of those.
So, trust me, the Absolute Universe, particularly for me as a Wonder Woman fan, has been a godsend because the current run of Wonder Woman has been hot garbage. The main one, Absolute Wonder Woman, has been, dare I say, perfect.
It's been fantastic. It's been phenomenal. And I'll say as a guy who's like, I don't read as much Wonder Woman as the next guy. I've read like George Perez, a few other ones, but Absolute Wonder Woman, I think, has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think it's been great. And I like the art choice in it. I like the pencils. It's so different, and it's like it fits that universe, man. It fits that universe of what the story they're trying to tell, and especially with what they just did with the other Amazon and her going back, and now Hippolyta knows that Diana is alive. Like that's, dude, like there's so much stuff that you could do with that.
Yeah.
Especially like the reactions. What's going to be the reaction if she has to go home for that 1 month and she learns, but how's Circe going to feel about that? What are those gods going to do about that? Like what's Hell's reaction going to be? There's just so much stuff that you can do with that whole storyline. So I'd say first, I'll let you go off. Like, you know, how did you get into comics? You know, all that stuff. Like, how did that play? Were you like a total stud like I was in high school? I mean,
well, first off, I was homeschooled, so I guess so by process of elimination. So for me, I was always more of a movie guy at first, but so on again, off again, I've been reading comics since 2013 because I was reading more trades. A new 52 had just happened. I loved it. That's like my era of DC.
Look, it's nowhere near as bad as people say it is.
It's
like,
not.
You go back and read dude, you got Jason Fabok, Tony Daniel. You got all these dudes on, like, shut up. I don't like
Superman Wonder Woman by Charles Soule is superb, but there's a lot in there. Jessica Cruz showed up in that era.
Yeah, I like Jessica Cruz.
Me too.
Out of all the newer Green Lantern, like my Green Lantern is Kyle Rayner, but like out of the newer ones, she's by far the best.
Yeah,
it's not even close. She at least has a character behind her, and like I actually go, okay, let's see what she's doing. Let's. It doesn't bother me when she's on the page, like it does like with Simon Baz and like.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly. But so fun story. So I was watching the special features for Batman Ninja 2. And the funny part about that, so the character designer was like, well, I didn't know much about Jessica, and DC requested I use her, so I wanted to do some research. He literally calls Simon Baz Jessica's sidekick.
That's fantastic.
I'm like, That's so true, though.
It is very true. It is very true. Especially when they first came out. Like he was the guy. He was the Green Lantern's. Like I don't want to. I don't know. I don't know about. She's like, let's fuck it. Let's just go.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
do this.
So I wasn't really a regular reader until actually the Snyder Cut got announced, because that's when I really just immersed myself back into that. I started the my channel and stuff, and yeah, when the Absolute Universe was first announced, I was like, this is a terrific idea, because here's the thing, it's like you're able to take risks, and when DC takes risks on things, it most of the time will work out for them. And here's the thing about the Absolute Universe that blows my mind: it shouldn't work as well as it does.
No,
you shouldn't be able to take Wonder Woman as she is and just put her in hell, change her origin completely. She still feels like Wonder Woman. Same thing with Batman, Superman, all of them. They still feel like they're characters. And that is the part where I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's you look at the other versions of universes like that, and they try to make it like, well, here's, like Earth 2 and stuff. We got President Superman. Like, all right, cool, whatever. There's some Earth 2 stuff that I like, but this is like a complete and utter reimagining. They still feel like the characters, but they're set in completely different circumstances. And
it's like, I like what Scott Snyder said. He's like, the purpose of this is to show you could take away Bruce's cash, take away the fortress from Clark, take away the island from Diana. They're still Bruce, Clark, and Diana. They are still these characters. They are still the hopeful characters. And I'm like, that is a genius idea, because how many times have we had a debate that if you take away Batman's money, who is he?
Correct. And especially in the world that's created by Darkseid, where there is no hope. Yeah. It's all based on this. I mean, we've seen, especially in the newer issues of the mainline Superman, we finally get Booster Gold. That was the one thing I'll say that was the one thing. And it's actually a good thing, because we'll get into this. That was the one thing whenever the All-In special happened. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm invested. Okay, what's going on with Booster Gold? Okay, because, that harkens back to Dark Knight's metal and death metal. And then even all the way back to the Forever People in 79. So like, I was like, okay, I'm invested. Well, I didn't really know that I had to go out and read like Challenges of the Unknown and a couple of the other stuff. I didn't know. And the whole time I'm going, what is happening?
It's like in some of these books, it's kind of fun, because I was reading Justice League at the time, and in the middle of it, in a double-page spread, they have like a chart of all the books you have to read in order to like stay accomplished. It's like a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, I don't have time or money for all of this. What are you doing?
You know what's sad? I bought them.
Oh, really?
Oh, I totally did. I totally went out and I went out like, dude, I'm probably reading right now. It's way too much, dude. Like I definitely need an intervention, because I mean, I went out and I bought like the Justice League Atom Project, and I bought the fucking Challenges of the Unknown. And I'll tell you what I've been impressed with is New Gods. Ethan Cagle. I have no idea who that dude was art-wise. Dude, his art blows my fucking mind.
Well, not only that, it's so
unbelievable.
Good.
It is very good.
I'm like, what the? Well, I'm like, and New Gods is a concept that it takes a lot to get right, and it's like,
yes,
again, it's like DC is firing on all cylinders, everything. Green Lantern is freaking amazing.
Jeremy Adams. Jeremy Adams is awesome, dude.
Aquaman is also really good.
Aquaman is great. It's fantastic right now. And that's what, like, there was some, I'm not going to name any names, but there's some guys in the comic sphere that, just shit on everything new. Right. So I told him, I was like, listen, I'm a little bit older than you, like, just start reading these. I was like, please read I'll even send them to you, or whatever. Just so I got a few guys where first it was like this is how it went. It was like, oh, well, it's okay. And then by the time they got, man, dude, this is pretty good, man. This is pretty good. And then by the end of like Superman, he's like, dude, what's gonna, like, I need to know what's gonna happen in Smallville. I'm like, exactly.
As soon as so I'm reading Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern. The minute he has Jessica Cruz help Mo go through his trauma of like being of like everything like that, I'm like, the guy, he gave Simon something to do. I'm like, what in the name? How do you do this? So what? I'm like, I have yet to encounter a character that Jeremy Adams cannot write. Yet.
Well, put it this, even that he was the only guy that had any light in that fucking Night Terrors thing that I did not like. I hated it.
Oh, me too, because I was reading his Green Lantern, and then all of a sudden it's like, this story will continue in like 2 months. And I go, what do you mean it's going to continue then?
Yeah. And then I was reading Night Terrors and I was buying all these books. And that's one of the things that stopped me from buying a lot of books. Because it was like each character had 2 to 3 tie-ins off of there. There's like 60 fucking books in that whole thing. And the only one that matters is Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern one. That's the only one. It's the only one that matters. And it's good too. So I was like,
really
all right.
good.
Yeah. So definitely, if you're out there, go out and buy his. The trades are available. His run is fantastic. I actually have all of them, I believe.
I long say that it's so good that what you could do, read the Jeff Johns run, skip everything else, and go straight to his run. It feels like the same thing.
Yeah, you could go straight to his run and not lose anything. Not lose it.
There were some plot points that get iffy, but they explain enough.
They explain enough, right? They explain enough of it.
Yeah,
right.
But it's like it feels. I've long said this will go down as like it's gonna be Jeff Johns and Jeremy Adams tied as on the best Green Lantern run, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's funny because like I went out and I got the first trade, right? I wasn't buying Green Lantern as singles, right? I went out and bought the first trade, and then I literally went to my comics guy and was like, hey, I need you to get me the rest of them. So he was like, God damn it, dude. So I showed up and I was like, is that all of them? He was like, until current. Yeah. So I've been buying them since then. And man, it's been awesome. And his Aquaman run has been great.
Aquaman run is great because it's about time Aquaman has a freaking book.
Yeah. It's honestly, he hasn't done anything of substance since the Trench. Yeah, really. And that got cut short too. It was like when Johns was writing everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And it was like, yeah, it's like it got cut short too. So, but all right, we'll just gotta say. So I'm gonna assume I'm gonna go out on a limb and say your favorite absolute book is Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense because I know you like Wonder Woman, and I'll say this. It's probably, I don't know if I have a favorite because I like them all, but I'll say this: every month when I grab Wonder Woman, it is the first thing that I read.
It's guaranteed it's going to be a good story. It's to the point I've said it is probably the best book that DC is putting out currently.
For me, it's up there. If someone said that to me, I'm not going to argue with them. Put it that way. I'm not going to because I know
so good, including the two issues with the felon artist that were like her like origin stuff. Yes. That art looks like something out of Greek mythology, bro.
Dude, the one where they're reading the story about the princess,
and the tiger. Dude, exactly.
That was fucking phenomenal. That book was so good. That was so good. And it's funny because the Absolute Batman book that I thought was the best had the shittiest art. That Absolute Batman #4 might be one of the most well-written Batman stories we've had in so long, besides Dark Patterns, because Dark Patterns are really good. But my God, dude, it's like they got some kid in 4th grade to go do these.
I'm going to draw Batman, but he's going to be super jacked and stuff.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I was like, God damn it, dude! Why did they do that? Like, and I like Nick Dragotta's art. I like it. You know, I know a lot of people have an issue with it, but man, that issue #4, dude. Like, oh God, that you should have at least paid someone. If Dragotta wasn't able to do it, you should have just paid someone to do it because goddamn, the story was phenomenal.
So, yeah, and then it's like, then you go to like Absolute Superman, which one of the things I love about that is because I like when the stories go into like Krypton and stuff, and they go into it really like in depth in that book. You see Laura and Jor-El and like everything and how they reinvent Krypton. But I love the cape that can turn into freaking demon wings practically when he's attacking people. And the peacemakers are like, what are we going to do against this guy? I'm like,
Dude,
yes!
the Peacemaker story was phenomenal, dude. The crazy one where he finally he goes up and he's like, I got him, and he comes down, he's just
He
fucking
gets
nothing.
wiped out.
Just nothing.
It's like, that's
Just-
the greatest thing in the world. Because I hate Peacemaker, but
Oh,
so I'm
God.
like, oh, I love this.
I'm with you on that one. I'm not a Peacemaker guy. It was smart of them to make Peacemakers, though, something that you want to hate, the ire of what you want to see him destroy, which is great. And I thought their take on Brainiac was fucking awesome.
With that, see, the thing that I said about that, it's good enough that you could just make that the regular Brainiac canon, and it's not that like different or unbelievable than the current Brainiac origin.
Dude, the issue where it was just Brainiac in his ship and just shoveling all the sludge of Brainiacs and
Like,
just
I'm like,
getting
oh.
worse and worse and worse
But
and
bro,
worse.
my
Oh
mind
God.
has never blown more than when they said the villain's Ra's al Ghul, and I'm like, well, when you're Lazarus, you're like, okay, it makes sense. But when you look back on it, you're like, he's a Batman villain. There's no way. Wow,
dude, that blew my mind. And whenever he was on the phone talking to his people, and he had the baby. And you find out that's what it's about. And he just drops the baby off the building. And then they could have just left it at that. But then there's a guy in the street and he goes, holy shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
I love that. Oh my God.
So messed up. I was
that
like, Jesus so Christ.
Good. But I also like the idea of Clark having basically a Jarvis AI soul that's like directing him and helping him, because again, it's like he's not really alone, but he is alone. And the implication is there could be other Kryptonians out there because a lot of people escaped in those arcs. So I'm like,
yes,
that could be Supergirl, that could be any other character.
There could be a lot of things happened on that day. When they found out that there was all those other ships and the working class people basically were fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So, I mean, that story of Krypton was actually, I thought, done very well. Like Jason Aaron, it's so weird when you see a guy who writes a character so well, like Thor, comes to Superman, and you're like, at first, it's like a little bit slow, still good, but it was a little bit slow. But man, when it hit like issue 4 or 5, and
it's like with me, I was not the biggest fan with some of his Marvel work, like Punisher and Avengers. But as soon as he came to DC, I'm like, where was this guy? Because I liked his Action Comics, like little story he did. But Absolute Superman, I'm like, this is awesome. This is perfect.
Yeah, I love it a lot, and I watch a lot of Comic Pop. I like Sal.
Me too.
And he has Scott Snyder on quite a bit, and to hear him like a couple years ago talk about this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then last year when the first issue came out, he was like, look, I have about 2.5 years worth of stories done in my head. So it's like, oh, okay. And the fact that they are just now starting to cross over and mix a little bit.
They're taking their time. Because the temptation would have been, oh, they're popular? Justice League, throw them all together.
Dude, it could have been the Batman Who Laughs all over again. Oh, you have something and then we're just going to shove it down your throat.
The way Bane creates all of the rogues by completely messing up. I was like, whoa!
Dude, when they showed fucking Oswald.
And he's like breaking every bone. I'm like,
he's like a giant puddled fetus. Or like what is this?
Or like with Two-Face, where he like cracked a bottle on his head and smashed it on the ground. I'm like, oh
my God, dude. The stuff that they're doing in Batman, the Bane stuff has been brutal.
Oh my
brutal.
Gosh. And the issue where Alfred is narrating, if you face Bane, this is what's going to happen. Where like his arms get cut off, and then he gets turned into basically Azrael Batman. And I'm like,
And the fake out of like, but that's not what happened. This is what happened, and you're like, oh.
And I'm like,
fuck.
This is
these guys have absolutely you had no chance, but these people have absolutely
less than no chance.
Yeah,
less than no
chance.
Like,
my God, like it's been brilliant, man. I love every second of it. And for the people out there that are just shitting on it without reading it, if you don't like it, understood. That's fine, but I highly doubt you're reading all the books. It's just I highly doubt it.
They're definitely not.
Find anything to like in it. Like, come on, man. Like,
they're definitely not.
I'm as old as some of those guys, if not older, and I'm buying like 40 to 50 books a month. Like, there's stuff out there.
Same here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like I can't
Basically,
stand
every
hearing that.
time there's an absolute book, that's an instant add to my pull list because I know it's going to be
To be good.
incredible.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I have
great.
never Martian Manhunter's the only one where I'm like, I like it, but it's kind of trippy.
And I can understand that. I thought it was great because I thought it was like it got. I couldn't believe how well it sold for the fact that like they're
Mhm.
bringing it back in December. The
Mhm.
fact I'm like, oh, okay, like I get it, and I like some of those gimmicks where you had to hold the last page up
Yeah,
to the
that was
light, and like
cool.
it was neat, and I've read a lot of like trippier books and like so I didn't mind it as much, but that's the one book where I could understand someone going, well, I don't like the art or I don't like,
Well,
because it's kind of like mind fucky, you know.
here's the other thing. It's like because I'm obviously very plugged in with the Wonder Woman fandom. They have straight up said, no, Absolute Wonder Woman is the Wonder Woman book. Ignore the Tom King stuff.
Well, that should be,
Well,
yeah.
that should be like the objective. Trust me, I am one of the biggest detractors of the Tom King Wonder Woman run, which is utter garbage. But anyway, but it's
That's
like,
sad.
which is
Sad.
why Absolute is so great because I have. What does it say that the Wonder Woman from hell is more like Wonder Woman than the regular universe one? What does that say?
Yeah. Well, Tom King, they might have been switched. Tom King was actually from hell, and he came here to ruin
Probably.
comics.
But so then you have Green Lantern, which the Absolute Green Lantern book is like that's one of the ones that was the wild card for me because I'm reading this and I go, obviously it's good, but I'm like, there's a lot of stuff in that where I'm like, okay, they die, they're not dead. Like that's what the lantern and the black hand thing.
The black dude. Whenever that happened in the first book, when he was sitting in the diner and he's all like this, and he's like, "No, don't take it out." And he takes it out, and everything just starts getting sucked in. And then the lanterns come, and you're like, "Oh, okay."
That's the other thing I love about the Absolute universe, and it's a universe-wide thing. It's not just like Green Lantern or something like that. Because if you look at like Wonder Woman, particularly maybe Batman, they're changing the relationship of the hero to their villains. Because remember, Wonder Woman's mother in this is Cersei.
Yes.
So and it's like how becomes the Black Hand, and Batman's rogues were like his childhood friends. I'm so waiting to see if they do that with Superman, but that's really cool because it like redefines like who's a bad guy, who's a good guy, and of course in a world created by Darkseid, the bad guys would be good, if you will.
Right. The Legion of Superheroes. Have you been reading regular Superman?
Yeah.
So like that when they brought back Superboy Prime, I was like, oh my
God.
I was like, shit is just about to get fucked. I'm
like,
up.
Oh boy, someone's
Good Lord,
I love it. Are you current on Superman?
Yes.
Love where he's punching the walls of reality. He goes, let's get Silver Age.
And he's like, and he goes, hey, he told the one person from the Legion, he's like, hey, shut up. I'm not actually afraid to kill you. Like, all right, then.
Oh my God.
I've done this before. And the fact that like he was there and they didn't show Absolute Superman. He was only about the Legion of Darkseid. So like like you said, they're taking their time. And I've been thoroughly like happy with everything. And then Forever Evil came out. And I will say I loved it for the sense
I liked it too. I
like the way that they're utilizing all the villains from the books that you're reading in the Absolute universe. And the Joker is the one guy that's like pulling the strings of everything. Like, here we go. And then at the end, the bombshell, obviously, because you're always wondering where's the Absolute universe? Where's Lex? Like, where's he been this whole time? And then at the end, you get brawny paper towel Lex. He's got his hair, everybody.
Not only that, you see the Absolute Justice League is the Legion of Doom.
It's fantastic.
And Aquaman and Absolute Hawkman murders Green Arrow, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm guessing they're gonna either do Connor Hawk or they're gonna do Roy as the Absolute Green Arrow, possibly.
Or it could be the Green Arrow book is the prequel and it shows
what happened
up to that
It could
point.
be the prequel. Could be the prequel, and maybe that's like a catalyst of someone's relationship knowing. I just thought maybe after that they would have used Roy finding out that he's dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that could be. It could be either one.
Could be,
either one. Yeah, either one would be. I would be cool with just because of the way that things have been going so well. I'm perfectly fine with the decision that they make. And
Yeah.
it's just nice to be able to look forward to books. I mean, this is the first
Mhm.
time I've been looking forward to books since like Rebirth, and
Oh.
as much as I liked a lot of Rebirth, like that pittered out. Like they
Oh,
just,
oh, dude, I am the biggest Rebirth hater on the internet.
I mean, you liked
Mhm.
you liked New 52. So I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
I could
understandable. That's understandable.
I
Now,
understand
I'll
it.
admit there were fantastic Rebirth books like Aquaman and Green Lanterns. Those were great.
Yeah, I like the whole thing that they were doing with Dr. Manhattan. I liked it, but I didn't like the fact that they felt they needed to do another one. Like, and I'm just like, guys, like we don't need another Watchmen. We don't
Mhm.
need one, right?
Yeah, we don't.
One, let Alan Moore stuff sit as it is, and number two, he doesn't give a shit. He does
Mhm.
not care. So fuck him. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like he doesn't want to. Maybe I'll write another comic. Oh, fuck that. I need to live in me castle in the side of a fucking mountain. Go fuck yourself, dude. If you don't want to read them, fine. I totally get it. But we don't need another one of those. And the fact that you pulled Johns' fucking carpet out from under him. And I'm
Mhm.
telling you, I am telling you now, that Three Jokers book, I don't believe that was the real story that we were supposed to get.
No, definitely not.
I think he was like, fuck you. You
Mhm.
guys fucked me. I was telling a story. Yeah, it took forever for Doomsday Clock to come out, but if you would have followed, they already started new continuity before that was
Well, not
done.
only that, if you
And
remember in Flashpoint Beyond, which was written by Jeff, he literally has, because remember, this was at the time where they're like, everything's canon, it all matters. And then literally on a whiteboard in the Batcave, it says, it all matters. Batman draws a big X over and says, what a joke.
okay, what a joke. And they were doing the hyper time and all that stuff while Dark Crisis was coming out.
Yeah, I know.
I
love where
fuck Dark Crisis.
I love where like Flashpoint Beyond is coming out at the same time, and
Yes.
then like and then before the Justice League came back to life, Batman's meeting Ra's al Ghul, and Batman's like, and Ra's is like, nice to see you after your resurrection. And I go, so you're spoiling the story. All right.
Yeah. No, he did not care. And that's why I believe, and plus I was pretty close with Jason Fabok and talking with him quite a lot. And some of the stuff that he told me was not in the book.
Mm.
My buddy does a lot of like pixel art. Like he does stuff like this. Like he did me a Green Ranger one out of like pixels. He did a couple of the covers that Fabok had showed, and I sent it to him on Twitter, right? And he loved it. So my buddy sent it to him, and we were dialoguing back and forth for a while. And I said, I wouldn't say anything, because I didn't. But I just wondering about the Three Jokers, and because like I know his pencils are just, I think they're some of the best modern day.
They are some.
I've ever seen.
Fabok is my favorite. What made me fall in love with Fabok's art is freaking Dark Side War, bro.
Dark Side War was amazing.
The double-sided, the double page spread of the Anti-Monitor and Dark Side charging at each other, and I'm like, oh my god.
And I'm so glad that his Rook Exodus is back.
Oh, I love Rook Exodus.
Yeah, I just got the newest issue. If you haven't gotten, anybody out there, if you haven't gotten the trade, go get it.
Read it. It is superb.
Yes. I like most of the Ghost Machine stuff. I haven't read like Rocket Fellers or something else, but I've been reading Hyde Street, Red Coat, Rook Exodus, and Geiger.
Red Coat's okay.
It's okay.
Of the ones, so I'm reading Rook, Geiger, and Red Coat, and in terms of like my preference, it's Rook, Geiger, Red Coat.
Yes,
I still enjoy it. But it's like sometimes it gets kind of slow.
Yes, yeah, and I like Hyde Street. I like Ivan Reyes. I love his art, and I thought a horror book is fantastic. So
yeah,
like
of course.
Yeah. So I don't have any problems with that. But so at the core of this, I think this has been successful.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell, like, I know it's hard to think of how many books things have sold. So instead of going off of the IVC numbers, I go off of reprints, because they know how many prints were sold.
Well,
here's
what we can go off, because I do somewhat go off of ICV2. Here's why you can do that, because it's based upon sales. And I can tell you this, 100% of the time, whenever there's an absolute book that launches, it is in the top 10.
Yes. So I'm saying, like, we can at least know
Mhm.
that absolute number Batman #1 has sold over 400,000 books because they have reprinted it to the point that 400,000 was of the last print. So we know at least it at least sold that many.
Yeah.
Absolute Wonder Woman #1 sold almost 280,000 because they're on like the fourth print of that. And to date, if you take those up to the reprints, it's sold like 2.8 million copies.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it's not as unhealthy as everybody makes it out to be. It's just different. We're not going to be in a medium unless like computers crash and like all this other shit happens to where, you know, you actually have to go out and buy actual hardcover books again. I used to get subscriptions. That's how I got my comic books back in the early 90s and late 80s. You filled out this little thing in the back and sent your check, and it would come in the mail and have like, you know, like a greeting from Stan Lee. And like all that other stuff. And like, that's how you got comics. But now it's different. I think with, you know, global comics having like something like 2 to 3, 4 million people signed up to it, people are still reading. It's just happening differently. And
and it's not like people aren't also reading the physical books. It's like, obviously, I'm more of a guy that likes to hold the book in my hands. But if I need to, like if I'm doing a show or something like that, and I want to show the audience, I'll pull it up on the DC app or anything like that, or digitally. That way I can show it, so I'm not holding up the book to my camera.
Correct. Yes, that's I do that too. Like the way that I look at it is like this: if I have the book physically, I look at it as like a video game. I can back it up. I just sit there and scan it off my scanner. That's what I do. And I have like, you know, a whole shit ton of them. That's how I get the pages for like if I do a show or something. And I'm trying to get this channel off the ground because I want to do a panel show. Because every time, and I've said this before, every time I'm on MSK's channel, which is where I met most of you guys, we end up having a more fun conversation than we do actually on the show. And I love MSK. I still do Saturdays with him. But like, I wanted to get a panel show off the ground, you know, and I understand there's not going to be a lot of subs and stuff like that at first, but I just want to keep going. Just have it. Yeah. Get something like twice a week. I want to have one comic book one and one just regular pop culture talk. You know, everybody get to say what they want to say and just have fun. So like, you know, and I that's how it used to be for me. Like I would go into this comic book store. It was in the back of an electronics store. And I would buy, you know, he had a couple arcade machines and he would have comics. He wouldn't have a lot of new comics. There was a lot of like I think it was like his collection because like some of the stuff I got, dude, like I look at now and I'm like, there's no way I bought that for 50 cents. There's just no way. And that's how I got in there because there wasn't a comic book store near me. And it wasn't until I was living on my own and I lived in Pittsburgh that there was a bunch of different comic book stores. So going in there and being able to talk to friends or make friends and talk to like-minded people, even if you disagreed with them, it didn't matter because you were still talking about comics. And that's like, you know, that was a big deal for me because like I didn't really have friends growing up. Like my friends were all written inside of books.
Yeah, exactly.
And it wasn't until like later on in life that I became like, I would say, I'm not saying normal, but like, you know, more outgoing,
more social,
there you go. More social. And, you know, so like, that's the one thing from my childhood that I still latch on to is comic books. Because even when I met my wife, it'll be 27 years coming up in this next May.
Congrats.
And that was the one thing where she was like when we first went out, like it happened to be like we first met and then we started dating, and then one day she was just like, hey, what are you doing today? I was like, oh, I gotta go into town. She's like, oh, do you mind if I come? I'm like, yeah, sure. When I went, she's like, where are we going? I was like, oh, we're going to the comic book store. She was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, oh no, I go every fucking Wednesday and Thursday. And she was just like, Jesus Christ, what have I gotten myself into? But there's some stuff that she likes. Like she liked what the hell book was it called? Nocturnal. Was it Noctera?
I love Noctera. Oh my gosh,
she loved that book. Yeah, she loved that book. So I ended up getting that for her. and she likes Hyde Street and a couple of other
Mhm.
books. But yeah, like, so would you say that the Absolute books is probably your favorite thing since the New 52?
Oh yeah, and because here's the thing, it has that same energy. Because one of the things I loved about the New 52 is, first off, that since that was like when I was getting into comics, I didn't have to read anything prior. It was straight up, no, pretend like we never published comics. This
Mhm.
has the same thing, and it's not taking away anything from the main line. It's like, no, if you want an alternative, there you go. It's like with me, I dropped Wonder Woman with Tom King because I have this far superior like version of the book. So
Yeah.
in a way, I'm just like, I'm just gonna read Wonder Woman. Hello, Absolute Wonder Woman. And it's like, it feels like they're returning to the era of the characters that I really like, latched onto during that period. Because it's like with Superman, I always liked it when they delved more into Krypton, because lately they kind of have a little too far into the balance of like, he has to be all human now and all this stuff. Screw Krypton. With Wonder
Yes.
Woman, you're weighing more into like the mythological gods like thing. So, and
Right.
Batman brutalizes practically every he chops off people's heads with an axe. He punted a baby.
Dude, that was
That was
one of
the
the
funniest scene
funniest
ever.
so like that was one of the few books that I was able to get MSK to do like weekly, because like sometimes he'll not want to read a book or something, but we got up to I think issue 9 so far. We just started the Bane arc, but when that happened, when the woman with the octopus woman attacked him and then he just kicked the shit out of the baby, I was dying.
Yeah, I was like,
dying.
oh, what are you too easy kid. My one of my co-hosts calls it Michael Bay's Batman. That's kind of what it is. Like the Batmobile is a freaking dump truck now that like can turn into a roadster.
You ever seen those like massive loaders that they
Yeah.
have? That's what it looks like. It looks like one of those giant loaders that like has wheels that are like a 2-story building. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it's like, again, with the whole Absolute universe, again, it feels like they literally just plucked the mainline characters, put them in these main world, because everyone acts, for lack of a better term, normal. And in fact, Kelly Thompson said that the original idea for Absolute Wonder Woman was she was supposed to be like the Kratos style warrior woman and such. And when she was trying to write, she's like, I can't make this work. I'm just gonna just write regular Diana, and it makes it so much better. I'm like, oh my god,
yeah, because she's still brutal whenever she fights. She's still a badass.
Regular Diana is a warrior, so she's still brutal, but it's like she's not overly brutal. This whole thing, they literally plot. It's almost like they watch my channel and they're like, what does Jared want? Okay, we'll do that. It's like, because again, everything is perfectly balanced the way I like it. We're learning more about Krypton. We're seeing that Clark's that like Lara from Krypton is like a freaking badass, where she rescues George. She's got the giant gun and the helmet.
So awesome.
I'm like, oh, who knew she was so badass?
And well, I guess you build that up.
Flash is so good too. Absolute Flash is
phenomenal.
So awesome. All the rogues being a disgraced military unit that are turned to super soldiers by Barry Allen and Eleanor Thawne. I'm like, oh, that's clever.
And the fact that they were like, he finally meets up with them. They finally catch him because he goes to jail because he's hungry and he passes out because he realizes he's not replenishing himself. And then he's like, look, I'm not going back to Fort Knox with you. And he's like, they're like, yeah, we're not either.
Yeah, I love that.
Like, we're the weapons.
You want to go rogue with us? I'm like, yes.
Like, yes. Yeah.
That's the thing with the Absolute universe. Stuff is familiar enough that you can go, okay, eventually this character is going to be introduced, so this is going to happen. But once they're introduced, it's like there's no telling what's going to happen, because I'm like, oh my god.
Because it's like you said, Batman's friends are pretty much going to be his rogues gallery. And then the people that were after Wally are now like probably going to be his friends.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? And it's like, again, it's like, and it feels the universe is allowed to also be dark, but it's also in some ways hopeful. I mean, I know the world is hopeless because it's made by dark side energy,
Yes.
but the existence of the
The
heroes,
existence of the hero. Right. Correct.
I love an Absolute Evil where they're like, okay, so have you tried bribing the heroes? Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, it's like, no, I
did
didn't
not
do that.
work.
The warrior woman charged at me with a giant ass sword.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's giant sword is so, I'm like,
Dude,
the hell? Overcompensating much.
she turned into a fucking Medusa.
She turned into Medusa. I know. I'm like, that's the other thing. I wonder if Kelly watched a lot of those like mythology movies like Clash of the Titans, because that's how Perseus takes out the Kraken. He takes out
That's
Medusa's
true.
head and turns it to stone. And I'm like, oh, because that's the thing about Absolute Wonder Woman. I'm also a huge mythology nerd, and this is straight up like mythology.
And that works. That works for her though. That works very, very well for her. It's like when you watch like the first animated Wonder Woman movie, the first one, not Bloodlines, but the first one. The first one, I love that one. Like she's Diana, but she's also like brutal. Like some of the stuff that she does, I'm like, God damn. Dude.
Yeah. Bloodlines, I was like, well, this is crap.
I didn't like Bloodlines. I didn't care for it. I just didn't think it accentuated her in the right way.
Well, here's the other problem with that. So they spent this entire thing in a universe like that was basically established around the New 52. Then suddenly off camera, they start forcing in a bunch of post-crisis stuff. And I go, you can't try and do that.
Can't do it.
You can't. It's like Death of Superman. Really? And then you break up Clark and Diana off screen. By the way, for those that somehow don't know, I hate Lois. I prefer him with Diana. I mean, listen, it comes from where I am.
You came in at that time. That's, you know what I mean? That's the other thing with me. Yes, I am an older fan, but all I care about is that people are reading books.
Yeah.
I can talk to anybody about anything. I don't like some people are just like, oh, no, you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
You're not a real fan.
You like what? No, dude. It's like, that's awesome that you're reading, that you're out there and you're buying books every month and you're reading. That's what you like. And I think that's, for me, that's where I differ from most older fans. Because there's so many guys where I'm just like, dude, he came in at this point.
At least they're reading, because here's the thing, in an industry that seems to be on life support sometimes, it should be important that they're reading comics, however they're doing it and enjoying it.
Yeah, like I have, like right here is my, I have a long box for it, but this is my absolute box. I have like,
me too.
I bought so many alternate
I'm using
covers.
Savage Rogue for mine.
See, there you go. I bought so many freaking covers for Batman and
if it's for Absolute Wonder Woman, I always buy 2 or 3 additional covers.
So you can see that Absolute Batman only has 13 books, but there's clearly about 40
there's so much more in there too. All the covers. Yeah. It doesn't hurt that all the covers look freaking dope.
Yeah, that's also true. And I bought one for each Wonder Woman. I bought an extra cover because some of those lenticular covers and like those foil covers look sick as hell, dude.
Yeah,
some of them look awesome.
It's like whenever I look at them on the rack, I go, it's hard to pick which one. They all look so good. How am I gonna pick? But it's like with
this is my favorite cover from the Absolute Universe.
Yeah,
I love this one.
That one.
I don't know. I saw it and I was just like, I haven't even opened it. I was just like, I want this.
Yeah.
You know, I want it and that's it. And I haven't opened it yet, but
here's my favorite.
That one's pretty dope too.
Yeah.
That one's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I love it. It's like when there's it's like, here's the thing. I also, to reference what you said earlier, don't like all those YouTubers that say comics are bad, everything's so bad. And I'm like, so of all the books that both Marvel and DC put out, you're telling me there's not one good book of that bunch? You're telling me all of them are bad?
And I say this with respect. I say this with as much respect as I can. I don't like being bothered into supporting independent comics unless I care about the person.
Yeah.
Or I care about, like, if I see what they're doing, right? So there was things that I supported, and then when I got them, I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know,
It's
like
like,
you. Okay, fine. That's fine. That's where you want to go. That's cool. I'm just not going to support that anymore because I have done that. Because there's a bunch of guys that in my crew of people, they're like, dude, you need to start reading some more independent comics. All you read is the big two. I was like, that's what I grew up on. That's what
yeah,
I like.
that's what you have an attachment.
I can't
I
give
have
DC
a
any more
bunch of
money.
like I have
Arrgh.
a bunch of like non big two stuff from like Image and occasionally crowdfunding, but most of the time it's like those big two because those are reliable. The characters I recognize, I know what I'm getting into most of the time. But it's like I also don't have to worry about being dragged into some drama BS.
That's very true. And like there's don't get me wrong, there's books that I read that like I'm reading like freaking this new Space Ghost. I'm reading
Mhm.
that. Like so it's not like I'm reading a Dynamite book, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
so there is stuff that I do support. It's just that this is what I grew up on. I don't care about what one person's stuff that they say online. That doesn't ruin the whole of a
Mhm.
comic book brand for me.
Mhm.
Like I can pick and choose, just like I can pick and choose what I want to listen to. I can pick and choose what I want to read.
Yeah.
So like, you know, that's how I feel about it. Like, and I'm
Yeah,
not
exactly.
disparaging anybody out there from crowdfunding or anything like that.
No.
That's awesome. I hope it works out for you. I hope you do something. But you know, like one of the bigger ones, the Rippaverse, until they got Chuck Dixon, you know, an actual writer who writes books. When I read one of the books, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, that was
Yeah.
not worth the amount of money that I paid for it. But
Mhm.
you know, hey, hopefully it gets better, and hopefully they do better because all that would do if another massive brand came out would mean competition, and
Mhm.
competition breeds success.
It's what that needs to do. And
Yes.
it's like, Bobby, so speaking of competition, I love how at New York Comic Con, Marvel's like, okay, we're killing our ultimate universe. We're gonna end that. And then DC is like, we have no plans to end the absolute universe in the near
Well,
future.
you have to think though, the reason why they're doing that is one, in Jonathan Hickman's contract, he said it's 2 years and I'm done. I kept trying to tell this to people.
Mhm.
Like he said it on his Substack. My plan for Ultimate Spider-Man was he wanted to write Ultimate Invasion. He wanted to write an Ultimate Spider-Man, right? Now,
Mhm.
what books they spawned off of there, that's up to them. But they know as soon as he's gone, like, dude, like, I mean, I'm sorry, but Ultimate X-Men to me is not good. It's not
It's
a good
not.
book.
No, it's not.
Ultimate Black Panther had like 3 good issues, and then it went off the
Ultimate
deep end.
Wolverine, I enjoy a lot.
That I have Ultimate Wolverine.
That's so good. Where he's the Winter Soldier. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
this is
dude.
so hardcore.
Yeah, yeah. Ultimate Wolverine's good, but I don't know if one book has the legs to stand on when the other book that's holding up the whole universe is gone. Because once
True.
he's gone, do you really like if they replace someone for Ultimate Spider-Man, right? And they just say they
Mhm.
kept it going, it's not going to be Hickman. Just look what happened
Yeah.
with X-Men. He always writes in those
Mm.
3-act structures. He was like, "Hey, we're done with the Krakoa era, moving on." They were like, "No, this is the first time X-Men has sold in like 15 years. We are not moving past Krakoa." And he was like, "Well, I'm writing Inferno and then I'm out. See ya."
Yeah, exactly. But the funny part is that it's like, so Marvel came on and they're like, okay, we have a couple of announcements, and DC's like, here's all of our announcements, and everyone's like, why can't DC own Marvel?
You know, like
Because Marvel can't, because DC came out and they're like, oh yeah, you know who's going to show up at DCKO? Homelander, Red Sonja, Sub-Zero. And I'm like,
Sub-Zero.
what the hell?
Yeah, dude. Like and the fact that whenever they in DCKO, whenever they showed that they were like, and we have a few horsemen, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh shit, and I looked over and I was like,
Uh,
I know those legs.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, absolute. I see the red leg wraps and the glowing
Yeah,
feet.
yeah, I know who that is. Plus, that
Yeah.
cover was dope, too. The
Oh
plastic
yeah.
cover,
Which I'm
the see-through,
thinking,
that was sick.
does that mean that like maybe near the end we're gonna have the absolute Trinity fight the actual Trinity?
You know what? I that probably,
That
but
would
we
be
also
super
have to
dope.
take into consideration that Darkseid is one
Hmm.
of them, and we don't
Yeah.
know who it is yet.
Hmm.
So
Oh yeah. Oh, it's Booster. It's Booster.
it's got to be That's what. Well, that's what I was thinking because of the
Yeah.
way they showed the
Yeah.
circle and then they showed the
Yeah. The
eyes.
eyes
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. So, you know, and it would make sense that it was Booster because he was there for however
years
long.
apparently because
Yeah,
he had a
he
beard.
looked like shit. And they came back. He just was like, he just
He
looked
looked
so
like Robinson
down.
Crusoe is what he
No.
looked like.
He was
But
so
I
beaten
just
down.
love I love where so all of my friends were like, oh great, so Batman's gonna win the tournament. Batman gets stabbed through the chest and eliminated as soon
Eliminated.
instantly. And we're like, oh okay, now we have an actual
And
contest
on
here.
the bracket, it just showed Joker lips.
Yeah, I know. But my bracket that I made, I got most of them right.
That's awesome, though, man. Like it just shows interest in it, and now
Yeah.
you have a whole shit ton of characters gonna be in books spanning here, 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 and here, and it's all gonna
Deathstroke,
culminate in here.
Barbara.
Yeah, dude, it's fantastic. Got
Yeah.
people that haven't been used in so long, and it's like that's great. That's phenomenal. I
Yeah.
love it.
I
love
love
it.
Deathstroke. He's like he and Darkseid are my favorite comic book like super villains ever.
I like me some dark side. I definitely I like Deathstroke quite a bit. And you know, they're definitely like Deathstroke to me when I was reading the Teen Titans back in the late 80s, it was just like the Marv Wolfman, George Perez, it was just so fucking awesome. Like it was phenomenal, man. And
my first Slade book was the Tony Daniel one from the New 52, where he got a God Killer's sword and went to Olympus and had to team up with Superman and Wonder Woman against one of the actual Titans. And I go, oh, this is first off, Tony
S.
Daniel's
Daniel.
art is like bloody as hell, but so
good.
good.
So
like,
good. He's one of the best Batman artists. He's one of them.
Oh
He's
yeah, he
there.
definitely is. He definitely is. And it's like when he drew Superman, Wonder Woman, and there was a scene where like they're fighting Zod and Feora. Zod shoots Wonder Woman with his heat vision. Wonder Woman catches the heat with the sword and presses the blade onto Feora's face, burning her.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh.
He does. He knows how to write. He knows how to write some brutal shit.
Yeah, I will say my favorite line from that book, and that's why I love the New 52. So Wonder Woman takes Superman to meet her family. And obviously at this time, the king of the gods was Apollo, the god of the sun. This will be key. So Apollo says something snarky about Diana. And then Clark goes, okay, so you're a god, right? This isn't like some like affectation. He goes, yeah, of course I am. He goes, okay, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to punch you really hard. Now, normally I have to hold back because it's like, I don't want to kill someone, but because you're a god, I can hit you as hard as I want. So Apollo just flicks him away, and then Apollo blasts Superman with sunlight. And then
he's an idiot.
Yeah, he charges up, and then Superman, and then Apollo's like, "Wait, what?" And then Superman, I kid you not, says, "You hit me with sunlight. You don't know that much about me, do you?" And just throws him out of a mountain.
That's about right.
Yep.
That's
there you go. Right. That's dope. I love that.
I'm Superman.
That's that. It's that I have the power of the entire sun, and I'm like, oh, so you're a god now? Okay, I see how you're doing that.
Yeah, dude. The whole 1 million story was fun too. Like
that was fun.
That's where that came from. Yeah, like that's pretty funny. That's funny. That's funny that they did that. And yeah, let's blast him with sunlight. That's smart.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
good job. God.
Like, really, dude? Yeah, exactly. Oh, the best part, he turns to Wonder Woman, Superman, and goes, before you say anything, I know you could have handled him. And then Wonder Woman goes, yeah, that's true, but I had a blast watching it. Oh, that's not even bad. Here's how snarky New 52 Wonder Woman was. She was fighting Hal Jordan. And then she goes, this brings me no pleasure, but I'm sure you've heard that one before.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Oh God, that's so good.
I don't hate the New 52 like people do. I don't hate. I have a ton of New 52 books.
Me too. But it's like, here's what people have to understand. Going back to at least your reading, that was my gateway. Yes. But then you know what I did after I read the New 52? I got a bunch of back issues from post-crisis and all the different eras. So you have to treat this, whether or not it's a movie, whether or not it's a comic era that you may not like, but you don't realize that's someone's gateway into the hobby. And then there's more people reading comics, then the industry is healthier.
Yes. Even if you don't like something, like, you know, just because that might, I always say this, the thing you hate the most might be someone else's most favorite thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, and that's not saying that, you know, that there are books out there that are universally hated. And we understand that the creator is probably not the best person for that book.
Mhm.
That's understandable, right?
Yeah.
But people can't talk shit about the New 52 was working. It was selling like crazy.
According to people at DC, it saved the company.
Yeah. So, and you know, because they were going to have to go the way of what Marvel was doing if they wanted to create books, was sell off their IPs. And we see, you know, what happened with that. If you're not owned by a fucking multi-trillion-dollar conglomerate, you're not getting them back. So, I mean, you know, at least there was that. And I look at it as it's good for business, just like the Absolute books are. And for the people that don't like the Absolute books, you know, maybe try picking one out and actually reading it if you haven't read it. You know, I've heard people go, "Oh, it sucks. I don't like the way Batman looks," and I'm like, "Okay,
Looks. Have you read it?
Have you read the book though?"
Yeah, looks. You're going off of looks. Have you read the dialogue?
Like, I understand that, you know, obviously it's obviously a visual medium too, and I get that. But there's also been a lot of guys that drew stuff that I didn't. And by the way, just to calm this whole thing down, this has been going on forever. This is not a new argument. Whenever I started reading, you know what I heard? I heard like Jay Garrick is the best Flash ever. The Barry Allen, I'm glad he's dead. But who's this Wally West guy? They shouldn't have brought him. They should have went back to get Jay Garrick because that was the best thing ever. Like, this has been going on forever. It's just that, at least from what I saw back then, those guys were still reading the new shit. Like, people now are just like, I will only read back issues and that is it. And it's like, damn, you're missing out on a lot of fun stuff.
Yo, yeah, you definitely are. Yeah, exactly.
You're missing out on a lot of great books, you know, because like we talked about, so Absolute Superman, I think is fantastic. I think Ra's al Ghul is fucking psycho.
Yeah.
In the book, he's awesome. And I think it's very well done. Absolute Wonder Woman, obviously, is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Like, it's one of the first things. It is one of the first things that I read.
Me too.
When it comes out,
I'm like, ooh, Absolute. Oh, it's one of those months. Absolute Wonder Woman. Yay!
Yeah. So it's like, you know, I have no problem reading that. Absolute Batman, I think is very well done. And I think that people who shit on the whole Bane, the way he looked, yeah, it looked weird. But we have to think of this too. Would the Venom make his head bigger? I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I don't know. It looks a little bit weird, but
and
when
some animated designs have a small head Bane when he's all roided up. So I'm like,
yeah, so I don't know. Like, that's not enough for me to not read the book. Because man, dude, the Bane arc has been fucking brutal.
Oh my gosh, yes.
My
God.
The stuff they did to Bruce was
sometimes I wonder. Absolute Clayface being literally a conglomeration of people on the floor saying it hurts so much, or Poison Ivy just being a plant lady, literally a plant lady. What? I'm like, there have been many times reading, particularly this arc, where I'm like, am I sure this isn't a Black Label book?
No, for sure. 100, dude. I'll say this: I like the Immortal Legend Batman. I think it's fun, right? There's no need for that to be a Black Label book at all. At all. It's a fun storytelling, right? It's fun, but regular Absolute Batman is way more brutal. Than Immortal Legend.
He chopped off someone's hand with an axe,
dude. That's so fun. That's like when I did my thing. I don't really do like reviews. I actually just like show a bunch of the comic. I do my own thing, and then at the end I just talk about it for a minute. But go watch Absolute Batman #1. I put a shitload of effort into it, but the part whenever he fucking chops the dude's hand off, you will love what I did with
or
that.
When he's fighting Black Mask and he uses the ears to stab into. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like, tell me again that Batman doesn't kill.
Yeah, you know, if they didn't show him the next panel,
I would be like, yeah,
he's not getting up from that one.
He's either blind or dead, either of those.
Yeah, it's one of the two. He's not doing so well.
Also, the baby Batman punted. There's no way that kid survived.
Dude, that's so funny still.
That is so
Because the
good.
woman runs and just turns and jumps into
And
the
the
water
baby is
after him.
even like, what are you gonna do? Punt. And I'm like, God
Because
damn
that
it.
baby would like goes in, and like kills Maroni and Falcon, like just with the thing, and then he just punts the shit out of it. It's
I
phenomenal.
just freaking love that.
Yeah, it's so good, so good. And then we got Absolute Flash. We both agree, is another very good book. That I'll say I love the colors in that book.
Oh yeah.
The coloring in that book is phenomenal, and it's one of the ones that whenever I read it, I'm like, damn, I wish there was more dialogue in this because it goes so quickly.
It really does. It really does. When I'm reading this, and I'm like, oh come on, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And hey, but Green Lantern's the one I got. I still got to read issue number 7. I didn't
really
read that
good.
one, so I'm gonna have to do that. And Absolute Martian Manhunter, I dug.
I enjoy it still. Let me be clear. I still like it. It's just of the Absolute books, it's my lowest on the list.
And that's fine. Then there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that at all. And it's coming back in December. So, what do you want to see moving forward from this universe?
More like batshit crazy versions of these characters. Like, is that too much? Like,
no, that's phenomenal.
what I would love to see is like maybe like see what the Wonder Girls are like in the Absolute universe, like Donna, Yara, Cassie. Maybe see like honestly, I really can't wait to see Absolute Kara because I want to see how they absolutize Supergirl because she's already angry. So I'm like, how are you gonna take that a notch up?
Yeah, that's true. She already is very, very temperamental.
Yeah, so there's that, and I really would love to see like Absolute Birds of Prey, or particularly like Black Canary or something like that because of what happened with Oliver and stuff. But mainly just more of it.
Ooh, that I didn't even think about that. Seeing Black Canary would be, dude, she might be off her fucking rocker.
Oh, she's gonna do a lot of screaming in people's ears.
Yeah,
when she's
definitely going to. So what I would like to see is them still take their time.
Yeah.
Keep pittering things like they're doing right now, and when they finally do the crossover, for me, I would still like them to make these books. That's the main thing. I don't know if the universe gets absorbed or something. Somehow, some way, I still want these characters to live on. I don't want them to go away. I don't know how they could do that, but if there could be one thing that I would like to see is them put as much effort into the mainline books and for guys to just stay out of the way. Let the creators create. If there comes a time where they start putting some bullshit in there, then say, hey, this isn't working. We need to do, but also put creators on books who want to do that character.
Like, here's the thing. Tom King did not want to do Wonder Woman, and he's being very clear on that. But it's like, no, if you put, because here's what Absolute Wonder Woman shows, because historically DC has not seen Wonder Woman as like that high selling of a character, that much of a priority. It's sad. But Absolute Wonder Woman shows, to your point, you put the right creative on the book, it's consistently in the top 10 selling books.
I mean, every time it comes out, it's usually like, for that week, it's in the top 5.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like,
it's always selling.
But the trade is like in the top 10 trades for 2 months in a row. So I'm like,
I'll say this: Wonder Woman, the first 2 issues, I actually had to go early because the first time I went for number 1, it was gone. So like, I had to go back the next week when he got more of them. So I didn't even get to read it till like a week later. Yeah. So like I was a little bit upset, but like I was also like, wow, that's really fucking cool.
Oh, real quick.
Actually,
the other thing I love about Absolute Wonder Woman, these segments about Diana's childhood. Kid Diana is the most adorable thing I've ever seen. Like, oh my god.
I thought it was funny, dude, when she met up with Artemis. Like, yeah, you still gonna fight me now? No. Not really. There's a better way.
She's ignoring it.
Goes to fuck with the turtle, and now she's like, all right. Now you've crossed a line.
Now you
dude.
cross all.
That
I
thing
love
didn't even
where
do anything to
where
you.
I love where the god throws a stone in the ocean and says, "Okay, you let's go find it. Be
Oh,
careful of the Hydra." She's
sure.
taking a giant battle axe, a little kid holding an axe.
And she comes back and she's like, here's your stone. Well, I have
She's
to
like,
go back into there because
okay.
I made a deal with it.
I made a deal with it. I love
Let's see what
that.
that conversation was like.
Or like there's another a backup story of that where it's like Diana keeps bringing animals to stay with her and Cersei,
Dude,
and
when they
Cersei's like,
open up-
another one.
They open up the door and it's just like they're all squished in there.
Yeah,
They're just all in there, dude. And it's like, well, that
I
shows
love
though,
it.
like that what they said was like, they made her so good because that was the one thing that they had to do, because I mean everything that was in there was corrupt.
And no one's gonna see a
And
little girl coming.
no one's
and
gonna
she's
see
like
it
a warrior.
coming.
It's like, oh,
There you go. And that's true.
mm-hmm.
And that's very true, because you look at everything she's done, just like with the whole maze arc,
Mm-hmm.
like nobody saw that. Like even the Atlantean, like she didn't see it coming. She thought,
Yeah.
oh, throw them in the pit. Oh, they're gone. They're dead.
Also,
Like
Queen Clea being a villain in that is the biggest like deep cut of deep cuts for Wonder Woman villains. That's the other thing. It's like obvious because the temptation is, let's just bring in Cersei. Well, obviously we already brought in Cersei, but Cheetah,
Right.
Silver Swan, all of that. But you're taking in villains that don't get like referenced a whole lot, or that people forget are Wonder Woman villains, like Queen Clea. And I'm like, oh wow. And the way that she beats Clea and just says, no, go. I'm giving you the option to choose a better path. And I go, that is Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because if she fucks up, then it's
yeah.
like
Then I'll find you and beat you up. But I'm giving you the
Yeah.
option, so I don't have to do that.
Well, and remember, then she was like, I hope whenever she got the information before with Dr. Poison, whenever she's flying up to him, she's like, I hope someone really likes to get punched in the throat.
Oh God, I love
fantastic.
hardcore Diana. So
that was
good.
fantastic, man. That was good. So yeah, but I'm very happy with Absolute Universe Year 1. I think it's gone very well. I think if anything, people are talking about it, whether they like it or not. They're talking about it, and it seems like the people who hate it the most are the ones who keep talking about it. And all it does is like get the people to remember, oh yeah,
that's
like
the thing.
this.
It's like a comic story, and used to say, hey, if you want something to disappear, don't talk about it, don't buy it. Because if you talk about it, you're still giving it promo.
Yeah. You're still talking about it. And I secretly think it's so funny too, because a lot of people who really hate it, they still know what's going on, so they're up to date and they're current.
I think they're actually secretly reading it
100%, because you could tell. I call them Wicca comic fans. You could tell a Wiki comic fan from someone who actually is reading the comic.
Yeah.
And that's and for me, I'm gonna support it. I love it. And I'm gonna continue to go from there. And I hope that they still take their time like they have been for this first year.
Yeah. They most likely will. There's no reason for them to like rush.
There isn't. There is not as much.
And they also clarified that DCKO is not going to affect what's happening in the Absolute Universe. They're not going to disrupt any of the stories. That was probably a cool tease. And if it happens, great. But it's not like, okay, Kelly, you have to put your story on hold so we can cross over to KO.
Correct. If anything, I think like you say, it might be something near the end. And that's even if they fight each other, it might just be them seeing each other would be huge.
Yeah, exactly. Batman's like, wait, how did I get that big?
Yeah. Wait, what? I got the wrong genes, man.
Yeah.
Wait, your mom's still alive? What?
Yeah, exactly. Wonder Woman's like, your mother's who?
Yeah. And Clark's probably just like, I need to save you. But anyway, man, so go ahead.
No, it's all good.
But yeah, so your channel, Comics League. So how does is that just Comics League on YouTube?
Yeah, it's just Comics League on YouTube. So social media, all you have to do is like search up Comics League, and I show up. I upload or go live pretty much every day. and
nice.
occasionally for multiple hours. So there you go. But we did a lot of fun stuff. In fact, this coming Wednesday, I'm celebrating 5 years as a channel,
Awesome.
and then yeah, it's like it's been a very interesting like journey, because it's like even like last month I got to interview Jason Lewis, who was the voice actor for Superman on Just League Action.
Yeah.
And it's really weird like talking to these people, because it's like I've read your stuff or I've heard your voice so many times. It's like, now I'm talking to you. Oh my god. Knees are getting weak.
That's fantastic, man.
Thanks, man.
That's awesome. My channel, I've been doing this for 5 or 6 years. I just make videos whenever I want to, but this I'm going to be doing on a regular basis. This is going to be something that's on a regular basis, doing live shows. I try to keep it to like an hour and a half, but then my other live show, we go for however long we want to. Because I look at like the comic stuff, I try to have like just a singular topic, us talk about it and be done. But if there's something like that, say the fallout of DCKO, that's something we could talk about for a long ass time
and theorize and all
theorize
that stuff,
and all that stuff. Right. So like there'll be more chances for us to do stuff. And I would definitely like to have you on for our comics panel and stuff like that. But my channel, you can always catch me. I do Bat Bits, which is the history of Batman, starting from Detective Comics number 27. And they're like 5 to 7 minute videos where I do everything. Because I pretty much have, I think I'm missing like of just Batman and Detective Comics. I think I'm missing about 4 years. I have pretty much everything else. And so I do that, which is a lot of fun, because I keep like a Batman kill count, which is hilarious, because like back in the day, like dude, like people just don't
even
know
nowadays he kills. I'm like, just come on, guys.
It's still funnier back then, because like he'll just carry around a gun. Like there's one where he goes up against this guy called the Monk, right? And the Monk was like had these powers where he would like hypnotize people, right? And turn them into like werewolves or vampires. So Bruce's first fiance was just like in a book. He was just had a fiance, right? And she was hypnotized. So they take a vacation. And they end up going on a cruise, and she gets, mesmerized by the Monk and goes to the Andes Mountains, and he finds out about it. And this other woman who looked exactly like her was actually like trying to take her to become a vampire. So he waits till they're asleep, takes over, fashions it into 2 bullets, walks up to their coffins and goes, pow, pow. And he's like, and then that was the end of
there was one, he was flying by in the Batwing and literally did a flyby where he's just leaning out with a machine gun, and he's just like,
yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, dude, there's another one where these giants, it's the giant men, he hangs one from its neck, kills it, and then parades it around the city for everybody to see. And that was before it was even the Batwing. It was called the Bat Gyro. And he just I'm like, what the fuck?
Or there's one where he was swinging and a dude happened to be leaning out a window. She just kicked him and snapped his neck.
Yeah. Dude, and I have this whole running joke, because the first villains that he went up against were just like gangsters. And there were these 2 guys that were like the henchmen named Gloves and Ricky, right? And they show up. No matter who's the bad guy, there's always Gloves and Ricky. So there's like Gloves and Ricky get killed, and then there was newer Gloves and Ricky, and then there was even more Gloves and Ricky, and all new, all different Gloves and Ricky. It's just the joke. Just
New 52 Gloves and Ricky, Rebirth Gloves and Ricky.
It just keeps happening. So like there's all that type of stuff in there, and I have like bad Batman parenting moments whenever like there's literally one where like Dick Grayson is still this little child, and it's like his 3rd like mission with him, right? So he finds this evidence that there's something going on with these tax forms or something, right? And there's a boat filled with all the gangsters with guns. Batman's like, all right, Robin, you go to the boat and start taking out the guys. I'm gonna go over these tax forms over here
in your bright yellow and red costume.
Yes. And I'm like, God damn it, Batman, you suck. But I do that, and then I do the history of the X-Men, which is only, I think, on like episode, issue 4 or something, but those are on there. Go
Mhm.
check them out. And yeah, man, if you want to plug anything, go for it.
Hell yeah. So actually next Tuesday, I am launching a comic book of my own. It's basically one of my tributes to
Awesome.
Wonder Woman and stuff. And let's see what else. In terms of like what my co-host and I were going to be doing is so this Saturday we're doing a video about 1 year on with like Absolute Superman, and then if we were in charge, how we would have Absolute Superman and Absolute Wonder Woman meet, like what could that interaction be? Because we already know she's gonna meet Batman, so we're like, how does the Superman one go?
Mm-hmm.
And for Wonder Woman, I'm gonna talk about like, because I do Wonder Woman Wednesday, where like I'll do a short like 5-minute like Wonder Woman discussion. Whether or not that's like my favorite stories, my favorite Wonder Girls. I did one on like her Zeus origin from the New 52, what I liked about that, what I didn't like. But this week I'm going to talk about moments that have to be adapted into like film and such. And then every Sunday I do a stream called Amazon Answers, where I basically go over like one of the Wonder Woman runs or stories from the past that were like really important, like Perez, Rucka, Jimenez, all those big ones. And then this week I'm talking about how I would reinvent Wonder Woman if I was put in charge of that. So there was that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, besides that, it's like a whole bunch of content.
That's awesome, man. That's motivation. That is motivation that I don't have yet. That hopefully well, dude, my job is literally like sometimes 18 hours a day. So, and you know, like, yeah, it's just there's a numerous amount of things. It's mostly just if it's a video that I want to make.
Yeah,
but the live shows is just going to be every week. So I'm not worried about that. My regular, well, I will say this: I don't need money. Money isn't really a problem for me right now in life. So I'm not, motivated by that. Now I do like the hustle of other YouTubers and other things like that, because my main focus was like, I just wanted to have a YouTube channel where like, if I did a live stream, like 10 to 15 people showed up and we just talked. Yeah. And, yeah, so that's basically it. But yeah, dude, you're more than welcome to come back at any time. I'd love talking to you, man. It was a lot of fun.
Come on mine sometime.
I'll do that. Yeah, whatever. Just as long as you just tell me a day, I'll make it work. Yeah,
cool.
As long as you tell me a day, I'll make it work, and we'll do whatever, man. It was good to have you on, and we'll definitely have you on again.
Hell yeah.
For everybody out there in comic book world, man, keep buying, keep reading, and that's it. We're out.